And we are live. What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Benny and the Booth podcast. Just gonna get everything set up and we'll be ready to go. Hope everyone's day's going well, week's going well, weekend going well. Make sure this is run properly. Put this in here. Sure. Nope, wrong thing. Okay. Good. This episode sent out. Alrighty. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Benny and the Booth podcast. Thank you all so much for the support at this point. Very much do appreciate it. One small mention since this happened this week, I'll give a small mention to it. Justin Tucker's been cut by the Ravens. They say it's a for football reasons, but let's be honest. As much as he was rough and kicking last year or two, the whole mess he's had recently with domestic stuff. If you know, you know, and if you don't, you can just look it up. That's pretty much the reason why he got cut, and we all know it. Plus, they drafted a kicker this year. I forget who they drafted. Draft kicker. 625. They drafted Tyler Loop out of Arizona, so probably their answer for kicker, given Tucker is now cut. But we will see what happens. So we have Immaculate Grid, daily walk-off, including an old daily walk-off from one I have not done before, and then we'll dive into this week's episode of the main part of the episode. So today's Immaculate Grid, we have Braves, Brewers in 6+4 season, Twins, Astros, and All-Star. Okay. Braves and Twins. I could go. Where can I go here? I don't think he did, but if he did and I'm wrong, then I will. This. Yes, actually, he did. I'm going Joe Negro. 4%, I will take that. Brewers Twins, I could go Eduardo Escobar. Could go Taylor Rogers. He might be a sneaky answer because not many people will probably remember his time with Milwaukee. I am remembering correctly, they played for the Brewers, right? I'm not just dreaming that. Yeah, no, I'm not. I know it. He came to mind. I'll go Taylor Rogers. 9%, I will absolutely take that. I'm going to come back to the war seasons. Astros and Brewers, I go Castillo. Maybe actually might not fit there. Astros, Braves. Will Smith technically fits there, but he's probably a high answer. And also fits for Brewers, Astros. Will also probably be a high answer there. Astros, Braves. No. Yes. Yeah. No, he doesn't. Astros and Braves. No. Wait, actually, no. Oh, I just got a good idea for Braves All Star. Andres Galarraga. 0.3%. I will very much take that. Uh, you know what? I'm gonna go Vinny Castillo. Imagine probably won't be a common answer. 0.4%. I will take that. Okay, Astros Brewers. I could go Will Smith. I could go Chris Carter. I like that answer actually. Chris Carter. 2%. I am totally fine with that. Brewers All Star. Um, any chance you would be a Brewers All Star? Yes. I'm gonna go Ricky Weeks. All Star with this 2% will take that. All Star with a 6+ WAR season. I imagine one of these two for sure fit it. Let's see. If both fit, then that's another story, but sure one of them. You definitely do. Survey says both of you do. I'm gonna go with the pitcher. I'm gonna go Jake Arrieta. Knew for sure at least one, if not both. 0.3%, I will take that. Twin 6+ WAR season. Magic Kilber probably did it. Mm. Mauer for sure. Morneau for sure. It doesn't have. No, his closest was 5.8 in 2016. Um, yes. Oh, one MVP. Would you have one MVP? MVP? Yes, I'm gonna go Tony Olivo because I have a feeling Kilber would be more common. That's 3%. I will take that. And then Astros 6+ WAR season. Any chance you would have? Because you had like a ridiculous year, Cy Young year. Yes. I'm going to go Dallas Keuchel. 0.89%. I will take that. So total rarity score is 14. Top answers for today for Twins and Braves at 21%, it's Eddie Rosario. Brewers Twins at 34% is Paul Molitor. Sixth was worst season with the Twins, Joe Mauer. Definitely not surprising. Astros Braves at 21% is Charlie Morton. 24% for Brewers Astros is Josh Hader. At 28% for Astros sixth plus worst season is Jose Altuve. All-star for the Braves at 11% is Chipper Jones. All-star for the Brewers at 18% is Christian Yelich. And the all-star with six plus worst season at 6% is Aaron Judge. That's pretty fair, I'd say, numbers-wise for those categories. Let's switch over to daily walk-off. The older grid's actually a lot more harder than the current one. So today's walk-off, which we're doing the Brewers and the Twins, by the way. Franchise top 10 appearances at second base, franchise top 10 appearances at shortstop, 97 played outfield, and 2015 played outfield. So let's see. Braun Davis, and Parr probably outfield. Arcia is definitely infield. Burnett's. I'm not sure about a lot of this. I think 15 I have right. The rest is up for grabs. Let's see how good I'm off. Well, I am right about 15 being completely right. Let's flip Arcia and Wong, Spires, and Williams. Fully correct, so walk-off triple. So full correct answers. Franchise top 10 appearances at second base. Pedro Garcia, Colton Wong, Fernando Vina. Franchise top 10 appearances at shortstop. Mark Loretta, Bill Spires, and Orlando Arcia. 97 mainly played outfield. Matt Meesk, Gerald Williams, and Jeremy Burnett. And 2015 mainly played outfield. Brian Braun, Chris Davis, and Gerardo Parra. And then as for the Twins, same categories, just player options are different. Aaron Hicks, Eddie Rosario, Pat Mears, Torrey Hunter, Alexi Castillo, and Cleo Cardenas, Rich Becker, Matt Lawton, Brandon Allen, Chuck Knobloch, Marty Cordova, and Anzuelo Verzales. Rosario, Hicks, and Hunter should be 15. 97, Lawton, Cordova. Honestly, let's see where this gets me. Once again, 15 is the one fully correct. Now just got to figure out what goes where. Swap these four. And, well, almost fully correct. Just swap these two. Now fully correct. So, walk-off double. Full correct answers. Franchise top 10 appearances, second base. Alex Castillo, Chuck Knobloch, Bernie Allen. Franchise top 10 appearances at shortstop, Zoila Rosales, Pat Mears, Leo Cardenas. 97 mainly played outfield, Marty Cordova, Matt Lawton, Rich Becker. And 2015 mainly played outfield, Eddie Rosario, Aaron Hicks, and Torrey Hunter. And then guess the old grid option, which I'm just going to do the Cubs for this one. I got to try the other teams. And anyways, this is a not so simple category. Franchise tops in singles. So honestly, I'm just gonna submit it and see where this gets me purely by just submitting. So got some correct in the initial. Let's flip this around and see where this gets me now. It did not do me much about flipping you all. And wow, walk-off homer after getting 2 outs. So full correct answers. Franchise most singles ranked 1 through 12, though not in order. Cap Anson, Stan Hack, Billy Williams, Mark Grace, Ernie Banks, Ryan Sandberg, Jimmy Ryan, Ron Santo, Phil Cavaretto, and John Kessinger, Gabby Hartnett, and Billy Herman. And that's it for the daily games. We're still even there. Just gonna do this, and then we can dive into this week's episode of the podcast. Okay. Okay, we're good. All right. So MLB Weekly recap. Okay. So from April 30th, the Orioles beat the Yankees 5-4. Aaron Judge becomes the fifth player to have 10 plus homers and a 425 plus batting average, entering May, joining 2019 Bellinger, 2004 Barry Bonds, 1997 Larry Walker, and 1970 Tony Perez. All but Tony Perez won MVP that year. Also, having done so in the team's first 31 games, Mark makes him the sixth player to do so, joining 2019 Belly, 2017 Ryan Zimmerman, 2008 Chipper Jones, 1959 Hank Aaron, and 1932 Jimmy Fox. And then Diamondbacks beat the Mets 4-3 with Huascar Brasban's two shutout innings. Mets starters have now gone 31 games, allowing 4 runs or less to start the season, which is tied for third most in the last 125 seasons, tied with the 1972 Twins, 1965 White Sox, and 1909 Boston Red Sox. And behind 2022 Yankees and 1972 Cleveland Guardians at 41 and 1957 White Sox at 32. Which, by the way, just gotta find what day it was that the streak ended. Friday, May 2nd, was the last day of the streak, and it ended at 32 as Sunday, a part of a doubleheader. It was already snapped in game 1. With Blake Treadwell going 3 2/3, giving up 9 hits, 6 runs all earned, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. But I got to 32 basically through Clay Holmes' 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs all earned, 0 walks, 3 strikeouts, which make it 33 consecutive games with starters allowing 4 runs or less. Basically, be moving up to second most and just only behind 2022 Yankees and 1972 Cleveland Guardians / Indians, 41, and everyone else behind them. Just thought I would just put that out there. So that's it from April 30th. From May 1st, Diamondbacks beat the Mets 4-2. Juan Soto solo home run the 6th marks 101 games with at least 1 homer and 1 walk before turning 27, which is tied for fifth most, tied with Mel Ott, and behind Mickey Mantle's 115, Jimmy Fox 114, Eddie Matthews 106, and Mike Trout's 105. Also, solo home run in the 8th marks his 24th multi-homer game before turning 27, which is tied for third most, tied with Ralph Kiner and behind Jimmy Fox 26, Mel Ott, Eddie Matthews, and A-Rod 25. Royals beat the Rays 8-2. Bobby Witt Jr.'s go-ahead 2-run homer in the 5th marks 22-game hit streak, which is tied for 5th longest hit streak in Royals history, tied with 1991 Brian McRae, and behind 2018-19 Whit Merrifield 31, 1980 George Brett 30, 1998 Jose Offerman 27, and 1999 Mike Sweeney, and 1982-1983 George Brett 25. And the Guardians beat the Twins 4-3 in 10 innings. Jose Ramirez is steal of second base in the 10th. This is his 250th stolen base of his career, and now has 250 plus homers and 250 plus stolen bases, which makes him the first Cleveland player, first to do so, first third baseman, 50% plus percent of games at position to do so, second switch hitter, joining Carlos Beltran, and 24th overall to reach this mark. That's it for May 1st. For May 2nd, the Cubs shut out the Brewers 10-0 with Peter Armstrong solo home run in the 7th and 7th. It's the 8th game Cubs have scored at least 10 runs, which is tied with 1938 for their most through 33 games since 1900. Hold on a moment. Mets. Oh no, wait, no, that I already mentioned that. No, previously. Tigers beat the Angels 9-1. Riley Green's go-ahead solo home run and 3-run homer in the 9th. Bryant makes him the first player in MLB history with 2 homers in the 9th inning of a game. He is also the third Tigers player with 2 homers in the same inning, joining August 12th, 2007 Maglio Ordonez. In the 2nd inning, and April 17th, 1955, Al Kaline in the 6th inning. That's it for May 2nd. For May 3rd, Rays beat the Yankees 3-2 with Aaron Judge solo home run. In the first, it's his 11th homer and a .432 batting average this season up until that point, making him the third player with 10 plus homers and .430 plus batting average in the team's first 33 games of the season. During 1959, Hank Aaron, and 1932, Jimmy Fox also marks the 7th highest batting average in the team's first 33 games of the last 80 seasons, qualified based on current rules. Behind 1994, Paul O'Neill's .473, 1958 and 1950, Stan Musial's .471 and .488. 448, 1959 Hank Aaron's 456, 1983 Rod Cruz 442, and 2023 Luis Arias' 437. Astros beat the White Sox 8-3 with Jake Meyers' RBI double in the eighth. Jake Meyers now had 13 total bases in the game, which is tied for second most total bases, batting in the ninth spot in the lineup in a game in at least the last 125 seasons behind August 15th, 2015, Jackie Bradley Jr.'s 14, and tied with July 3rd, 2021, Sepi Zavala, and June 13th, 2017, Eddie Rosario. And a general note from this day, with Daniel Schneeman's solo home run in the eighth and go-ahead grand slam homer in the ninth, in Cleveland's win over Toronto 5-3, and Kyle Stover's game-time two-run homer and a walk-off grand slam homer in the ninth. I forgot when the two-game tire was, but either way, in the Marlins' 9-6 win over the Athletics. They were both now in the same inning, by the way. This is the first day in MLB history where multiple players had multi-homer games, each including grand slam in the ninth inning or later. That is it for May 3rd. For May 4th, Orioles beat the Royals 11-6. Jackson Holiday solo runs in the second and fourth, makes him the sixth youngest player in Orioles / St. Louis Browns history with a multi-homer game behind August 10th, 2012 and September 26th, 2012. Manny Machado's 20 years, 35 days, and then same year's 82 days. May 2nd, 1962 and May 12th, 1962. Luke Powell, 20 years, 258 days, and then same year's 171 days. May 8th, 1949, May 8th, 1949, Dick Cocos, 21 years, 69 days. Michael Garcia solo home run in the second. Jackson's two solo homers. Jonathan India solo home run in the fifth. Cedric Mullins solo home run. And Ryan O'Hearn solo home run in the fifth. Michael Garcia solo home run in the sixth. Bobby Wood Jr. solo home run. And Vinny Pasquantino solo home run in the seventh. And Luke Bailey solo home run in the eighth. Orioles having 4. Royals having 6. Marks the third game in MLB history with 10 solo home runs between the teams in MLB history, joining May 20th, 2022, Diamondbacks at the Cubs, and May 28th, 1995, White Sox at Tigers. Royals 7 home runs is the most in the game in franchise history. Padres shut out the Pirates 4-0, marking the 8th Padres shutout this season, which is tied for third most shots in the first 33 games of the season, behind 1968 Cleveland's 10 and 1914 and Red Sox 1876 St. Louis Browns Stockings 9, and tied with 1972 Orioles, 1969 Cubs, 1945 Tigers, 1913 Phillies, and 1907 Cubs. And then the Rangers beat the Mariners 8-1. Jacob deGrom strikeout looking for him. Polanco is in the first is his 1700th career strikeout in just 225 career games, which is the fewest games pitched to reach this mark. And then from yesterday, May 5th, Cubs beat the Giants 9-2. Carson Kelly threw a homer in the sixth. This is his 8th homer in the first 20 games with the Cubs, which is tied for second most in the first 20 games with the Cubs in Cubs history, behind 1949 Hank Sauers 8-9, and tied with 2020-21 Patrick Wisdom, 2019 Nick Castellanos, 2013 Donnie Murphy, and 1925 Mandy Brooks. Royals shut out the White Sox 3-0. Cold Reagan strikeout of Miguel Vargas on a check swing appeal, and he had 11 strikeouts in 5 innings, which is second most strikeouts in first 5 innings of a game in Royals history. Behind May 13th, 2017, Nate Kearns, and May 25th, 1994, Kevin Apier's 12, and tied with September 13th, 2024, Alec Marsh, August 1st, 2016, Danny Duffy, June 17th, 2001, Blake Stein, and April 20th, 1991, Tom Gordon. And then the A's beat the Mariners 7-6 in 11 innings. Jacob Wilson's walk-off RBI single in 11th is his third walk-off hit in 62 career games, which is second fewest career games to reach 3 walk-off hits since 1961, behind Gomer Hodge's 30 games in 1971. Hold on one moment. All right, and that's it for the notes part of this week's episode of the podcast. Now for the standings update in the AL East. Yankees first place at 19-16, followed by the 18-16, 18-18 Red Sox, followed by the 16-18 Rays, followed by the 16-18 and 16-18 Blue Jays, followed by the 13-20 Orioles. In the AL Central, the Tigers in first place at 22-13, followed by the 20-14 Guardians, followed by the 20-16 Royals, followed by the 15-20 Twins, followed by the 10-25 White Sox. In the AL West, the Mariners are first place at 20-14, followed by the 20-16 A's, followed by the 17-17 Astros, followed by the 17-18 Rangers, followed by the 13-20 Angels. In the AL East, Mets in first place at 23-13, followed by the 19-15 Phillies, followed by 16-18 Braves, followed by 16-19 Nationals, followed by the 13-21 Marlins. In the NL Central, the Cubs in first place at 22-14, followed by the 18-18 Reds, followed by the 18-18 Brewers, followed by the 17-19 Cardinals, followed by the 12-24 Pirates. And then in the NL West, the Dodgers in first place at 24-11, followed by the 23-11 Padres, followed by the 22-14 Giants, followed by the 18-17 Diamondbacks, followed by the 6-28 Rockies. And that's it for the standings update. As for today's games, there's one game that's gone final because of a part of a doubleheader, and the rest have not, are either about to start. As for the one game that's already gone final, part of a doubleheader, Nationals beat the Guardians 10-9 in game one of a doubleheader. Game two is to be starting momentarily. Red Sox Rangers has not started yet. That was supposed to start 6-4 minute ago, but it is delayed. As for the games that have just started at 6:40, Marlins are sorry, nope. Oh no, wait, that's. Oh no, sorry, never mind. As for the other games, Dodgers are beating the Marlins 1-0 in the top of the first with the runner on first and 2 outs. Paul Quantrill facing Max Muncy. Phillies Rays is about to start. Zach Wheeler against Drew Rasmussen. And then Yankees Padres is about to start. Michael King against Clark Schmidt. Phillies Braves is about to start. Andrew Abbott against Chris Sale. As for the games later on that have not started at all or have not gone final yet, Orioles at Twins at 7:40. Cade Povich against Pablo Lopez. White Sox at Royals at 7:40. Sean Burke against Seth Lugo. Astros Brewers at 7:40. Hayden Wesneski against Chad Patrick. Pirates Cardinals at 7:45. Paul Skeens against Matthew Liberatore. Blue Jays at Angels at 9:38. Jose Urania against Tyler Anderson. Mets Diamondbacks at 9:40. David Peterson and Zach Gallen. Mariners at A's at 10:05. Emerson Hancock against Jeffrey Springs. And, of course, game two of the doubleheader between the Guardians and the Nationals. Ben Lively against Brad Lord. And that's it for this week's episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. If you're new on YouTube, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and notify when I go live and post a video. If you're new on audio, follow the podcast, leave a review, and notification bell so when I post on there. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I will see you next week's episode 170. Bye-bye. Oof.